Okay, welcome to the second session in our series, our mini courses, and this one, of course, is about task-based learning. And what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of continue what we started last session, and we're going to consolidate some key terminology and some concepts from the last session, so hopefully they're still fairly fresh in your mind. What we're going to do then is we're going to go through 6 demonstration tasks. So me, Andre, and Dan. Who's Dan? And Dan. We're going to go through 6 tasks with you, each highlighting a different aspect of task-based learning, and basically we're going to do a little bit of reflection. And finally we're going to do some troubleshooting of some common problems and frequently asked questions about task-based learning. So at the end of this you should have a much clearer idea of what task-based learning is, and some very clear kind of lesson shapes. That will really kind of help you for the next session, which is going to be next Friday, when you guys actually start planning and putting this stuff into practice. Yeah?
So you guys are still going to do the demo, it's not a video?
It's not a video, no. We're going to kind of, we're not going to demo the lessons per se. What we're going to do is we're just going to talk through them, yeah, just to show you the kind of the different aspects. Okay? Right, so first of all, let's see how much you remember as a little warm-up. So just take a couple of minutes to think about these questions. These questions we covered last session. What are the key stages of the task cycle? Can you remember 7 different types of tasks you could get your students to carry out? And finally, how is task-based learning different from PPP approach to language focus? Give yourself a minute to think about it. See if you're struck by inspiration. No, they don't need to make notes, just have a think about it. Okay, and when you think you've got more or less an idea, you can start discussing. Okay, give you 3 minutes. Go.
Model, no.
Well, lead in, or get them interested in the task, topic.
And then they do the task again.
Well, and who does the task?
Students.
No, but
There's a model here.
Yeah, I was saying there's a model somewhere.
There.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're going to put that in. I'm sorry that this is.
So there's got to be a way on you can manipulate it to where the language is something.
Elements of, what, key stage of the task cycle, anyone?
I guess we can try it over here. Introduce them to the topic or get them to lead into the topic. Demo.
Could be. Could be.
Task, language, and perhaps do the task again.
Okay, any addition on that?
Wouldn't you get them to sort of do the task before you model it, and then you're creating your need for the language?
I think we agree that well, from last session, hopefully task-based learning is really, really flexible. Yeah, but it does follow a very kind of, in the classical sense, it's very much like a skills lesson. Yeah, so any skills lesson that you do is very similar. So you do a pre-task, yeah, so your introduction to your topic and task. Then you do your task, which involves planning your task and some kind of report. Then you do some kind of language focus that comes after the task, and then there's some kind of follow-up. There's some kind of consolidation. So it's a quite, within these 1, 2, 3, 4 areas, is very, very flexible. But generally, task-based learning lesson will follow these 4 stages.
So when we say follow-up, could that well be in the second task along the same lines?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, or it could be a written version of a spoken task, or a spoken version of a written task, or so on. Yeah?
And have we not mentioned specifically where the model goes, because it could go anywhere in that?
Exactly. Yeah, so you could put the model here, yeah, you could put the model here, or you could put the model here. I mean, generally the model comes in here, and then you revisit the model here. That's a common kind of feature of task-based learning, yeah? Okay, second question was about the different types of tasks. Do you remember those?
I think we got ordering, listing, and then we ran out of steam.
Running out of steam. That's another one. Okay, how about you guys? You get any? No?
I don't know. Question. I don't know. I wasn't here the last session.
Okay.
Questionnaire, making a poster, like, I don't know, a role play where you've got to book a holiday or something?
Yeah, they are tasks in themselves, but basically you can divide tasks into very clear.
What was the technical term for project work?
These
Or
kind of
creative
tasks. Yeah. So people get when people think about task-based learning, they think about these great big creative tasks, these projects. Whereas really task-based learning is thinking about everything that you do in the classroom is based on this kind of these cognitive skills. Yeah. So we've got lots. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 main tasks, and within those we can divide them up into something more specific. Yeah. Is that clear? But basically what we'll be doing today is we'll be seeing some of these in action, so you kind of get more of an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay? Okay, okay, and finally, how is task-based learning different from like PPP?
As you said, it's much more flexible. It's not so rigid
Good.
as PPP.
Yeah.
And it's a non-linguistic outcome.
Good. Yeah, non-linguistic outcome. And what are students doing? Who's controlling the agenda, more or less?
They are.
The students rather than the teacher. In the PPP, they kind of select a discrete grammar item. So the teacher's basically controlling the whole agenda of the lesson. Because task-based learning puts a task at the centre of the lesson, sees how well people can do it and helps them to kind of do it better. Yeah? So that's it's fundamentally different.
Have there been studies done, like, really what's, in terms of like language accuracy and fluency and all that, which ones had better success?
That's your action research project.
Oh, it was not.
There you go.
I didn't ask that question though.
Basically what we're going to do is we're going to look at 6 different tasks, yeah? First of all, we're going to look at the personality test, which is looking at teaching grammar through tasks. Then the anecdote, teaching vocabulary through tasks. The health spa, which is a task Tom Rippon designed. Unfortunately, he can't be here today because he's doing CELTA. But it's basically supplementing the course book. The guided tour, that's Andre's task, and that's kind of turning activities into tasks. The SOAP, which is encouraging creativity through tasks. And finally, the review, that's Dan's task, looking at how you can support learners through tasks. So as you can see, we're going to cover quite a lot of stuff today. And before we begin, I'd like you to have a look at this. This is going to be your observation sheet as we go through the tasks. So just have a look through. There's 2 sides of it, so there's quite a lot to fill in. So just familiarise yourself with...
Thank you, teacher.
I've scribbled on it. So just have a look through the different things you're going to be looking for, and you're going to be filling this in during the lesson, during the session.
Not too bad.
Ideas. Okay? Some of these tasks you might think, oh yeah, I've done that one, I know this one. Some of them you might think, I would never do this one, it wouldn't work with my learners. But this is just to give you an idea of what we've been doing in our classes. And on the whole, I've found these really, really successful. Yeah, that learners really respond well to them. So, okay, so the first one, let's do one between 2.